You're listening to the IT Career Energizer Podcast, Episode 0.
Welcome to the IT Career Energizer Podcast. For anyone who wants to build and grow a career in IT, develop and improve your strengths and skills, be inspired and motivated by the successes of others, manage your career progression, and achieve your IT career goals. And now, your host, Phil Burgess.
Hi, I'm Phil Burgess and I'd like to welcome you to the opening episode of the IT Career Energizer Podcast. It's great to be able to say that after spending the past few months planning and preparing for its launch. The purpose of this short episode is to let you know a bit more about me, your host, and to give you some insight into the IT Career Energizer Podcast and what you can expect over the coming weeks and months. Okay, so let me start by letting you know how I found my way into the IT industry. I'll admit right now that at the time I didn't really know what career path I wanted to follow. I studied building surveying at university, but by the time I finished my degree I knew that surveying wasn't the career for me. However, I was fortunate enough that my course included an element of IT using Unix operating systems as well as word processing, spreadsheet and automated design packages. The latter saved me on a number of occasions since my technical drawing skills can only be described as poor at best. My other piece of good fortune was that my course included a one-year placement with a company that had its own surveying department. The manager was very much a fan of technology and allowed me to create spreadsheet models and to draw up floor plans for buildings of multiple occupancy. Together, these enabled the company to calculate rental values and to apportion utility bills to its tenants. It was this exposure to how technology could be used by businesses that began to intrigue me. As I said earlier, even before completing my course, I knew surveying wasn't for me. So after leaving university, rather than focusing on finding a surveying job, I took a local temp job with a specialist pharmaceutical company, and this is where an unexpected opportunity arose. What I didn't know at the time was that this company was in the midst of implementing a new ERP system. Although not initially involved, I eventually got the opportunity to help out with month-end reconciliations in the new system. And most importantly of all, I got to know the consultant who worked for the software house that was supplying the new ERP system. The result of this was that she recommended me to her manager, and after an interview, a few weeks later, I joined the software house as a junior consultant. And the rest, as they say, is history. I'll be telling you more about my IT career journey in future episodes. Okay, so why did I decide to start the IT Career Energizer Podcast? Well, after more than 20 years in IT, I feel it's time I gave something back to the industry that's provided me with a great career to date. And I couldn't think of a better way to do so than by sharing the advice and experiences of myself and other IT professionals with people who want to forge their own successful careers in IT. My hope is that the advice and experiences of myself and my guests will inspire the next generation of IT professionals, consultants and experts. And I hope to help as many people as I can reach their IT career potential. In an industry which is abound with innovation and opportunity, I don't think there has been a more exciting time to begin and develop and grow a career in IT. Over the past few months, I've interviewed IT consultants and experts from across the IT spectrum, including programmers, business analysts, project managers and testers to name but a few, many of whom have gone on to various senior roles in IT, and each guest has provided insight into their careers and their opinions on the future of technology. Each episode follows a consistent format, so you will hear differences in perspective from guest to guest, as well as common themes and opinions. The duration of the episodes does vary slightly, but they are typically between 25 and 30 minutes long. You will also find show notes available for each episode on the website, highlighting key points made during the episode, as well as links to resources that were mentioned or discussed during the show. Visit itcareerenergizer.com. There are some great episodes coming up, and I have to thank all my guests for giving up their time and for making the launch of this podcast possible. If you're listening to this episode at the time the podcast goes live, which is Wednesday the 3rd of May 2017, you'll find that there are 2 new episodes immediately available, which you can get by subscribing or downloading when you finish listening to this episode. A further episode will be released on Friday the 5th of May, and then weekly episodes will be scheduled for release every Monday morning. In addition to the Monday episodes, you will also see quick cast episodes being released on Friday mornings, once or twice each month. These are short advice-style episodes designed to focus on a specific career skill or to provide insight into a particular area of career development. Make sure you don't miss out on these episodes by simply subscribing to the podcast. To ensure that the podcast develops, improves and stays relevant, I'll regularly be asking for your feedback, which you can do so by contacting me through the website. I also ask that you leave a rating and review for the podcast if you find it of value. This will help me to grow the audience, which will then enable me to attract high-profile guests for future episodes. I really hope you enjoy the IT Career Energizer podcast, and I look forward to hearing about the successes in your IT career. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for listening to the IT Career Energizer podcast. To find out more about building a successful career in IT, visit itcareerenergizer.com.